it's time to go hunt some bears. We are approaching a period where we're going to go and hunt some bears. So you better get ready for that. You better be ready for that because that's what's coming right now. We are going to go, it's bear hunting season is approaching really quickly. And all this short term up and down bullshit is going to fade away very, very soon. I'm back. So I wanted to do this video, my first video back. I hope you've been well. To all the doom and gloom boomers, have no fear, Uncle Bullish is back, okay? Look, at the end of the day, the market is healthy. Nothing was going to happen over summer. I told you that. You should have taken a vacation instead of listening to the Twitter nerds trying to think of content. That's the most entertaining part of being off when everyone's on, is that you're looking around and everyone's just forcing content out. It's the same old shit over and over again. But the reality is, the market is the market is the market, right? Bitcoin becoming an ETF in America, you know, and that's the other thing. All of these people had so many hopes for all these other country ETFs. What did Uncle Bullish tell you months ago? The American ETFs are the predator of the ETF capital market space. All of these other ETFs are going to be complete and utter bullshit. It doesn't matter what they do. They'll add a little bit for sure as things get going. But the American ETFs is the win that Bitcoin was looking for the next 10 years. And between now and then, the only thing that you need to focus on is, are there any little opportunities in the market for you to make more money? Or is there any developments going on that you really need to understand? That's it. Everything else is completely and utterly programmed into what's going on. The Donald Trump thing, absolute thing that you need to pay attention to. Seems to me like Europe is going to swing right and Latin America is swinging left. Obviously, there's exceptions on both sides, like El Salvador and potentially Argentina, right? And look what happened in the European elections 2 or 3 weeks ago. Europe is swinging right, right? And if Europe, that's now been on a 20-year swing left mission, certainly has a 20-year swing right mission, this is unbelievable. Europe could be one of the best places in the world to be, right? If this actually pans out the way that it looks like it's going to pan out, right? Of course, we could have the same situation as Italy, right, where they thought they elected a right-wing woman, and now migrants of immigration, bad immigration has gone through the roof, et cetera, et cetera. You know, so there's a lot of interesting things happening in the world right now, right? You've got the Trump-Biden election. Trump came out into... By the way, that shocked me, even on vacation. That shocked me because I wasn't expecting there to be Bitcoin at the center of the most powerful country in the world's election campaign, right? And for President Trump to come out and start talking about Bitcoin the way that he has is absolutely phenomenal. I want to congratulate, David Bailey, the whole Bitcoin Magazine team, and whoever else in the background that was responsible for putting that into the consciousness of the presidential election. But what that also means is that, you've now got presidential pumps, right? Are you ready for presidential pumps in this market? And if you don't think that Trump is going to be using the Bitcoin price as a gauge of his own success, come on, what are we talking about? I can imagine a press conference right now where President Trump is talking about the fact that Bitcoin just went up 20% and it's now, $180,000, and that's how good my presidency is doing. So it's constant marketing for Bitcoin from the President of the United States of America. There's going to be grants, there's going to be all these things because of all these campaign promises he's making. There's going to be grants, there's going to be all these things for Bitcoin mining companies that are focused on America, et cetera, et cetera. So this is all looking good. It's shaping up well, right? It's shaping up well. Whether you think that in the short term, we're doing well or not, that doesn't even matter at this point, right? The short term is the short term. It doesn't matter. If you're trying to, if you're shitting yourself based on what's happening, in the short term of Bitcoin because you think that there's a trading opportunity, you got to remember, just do this one calculation. In the middle of your thinking, right? Okay, maybe I should sell my Bitcoin and then I can buy it back at a different price. Just take the gain that you're going to make, right? If you did it, knock off 20% as a minimum, right? And add that to take that off the price. And that's the price at which you start profiting and see whether it's worth it or not. Because whatever gain you've had, you're going to have to pay capital gains tax on. So if you've gone from, I don't know, let's say 50,000 to 100,000, just using this as an example, you've got a 50,000 capital gain. You're going to have to pay 10,000 capital gains tax on that, which means the price would have to drop from 10 to 90 in order for you to start making any money. So if you only think it's going to go down to 85, is this bullfuckery even worth it? A lot of people don't think like that. They just look at the chart and they get addicted to the chart. So Bitcoin going up and down $1,000, you don't need to pay attention to that. The Donald Trump, the President Trump endorsement of Bitcoin will be written about in the history books of Bitcoin. There is not a single ounce of my thought process that believed that we would get a president of the United States of America to talk positively about how Bitcoin, he wants to make all the rest of the Bitcoin in America in this election cycle, right? It was a complete, and I'm flabbergasted when I saw that happen. It was absolutely phenomenal. So that's the one thing that really happened to pay attention to over this whole summer period. But now we're getting into it, right? Now things start happening. Now the doom and gloom boomers that have been celebrating over summer because Bitcoin's been going sideways. So as that disappears, the pathway for more capital is going to come into line. Here's what I think is going to happen. As the summer comes to an end, more capital is going to be released into the market. We've got presidential elections going on all over the world, which is going to cause some uncertainty. We've got the US presidential election, the UK prime ministerial election. What a shit show. We've got European, after the European parliamentary elections, France announced an election, Belgium PM resigned, Olaf's on his knees. Ursula is pretty much, fighting for her life. There's a lot of changes happening all over the place. And it's quite interesting to me, and we'll talk about it on a future video, so make sure you subscribe. It's pretty interesting to me that the United States looks like it's about to go right. Europe looks like it's about to go right. And the United Kingdom looks like it's about to turn left politically. So it'd be interesting to see how these things sort of pan out. And I want to definitely discuss more of that with you. But overall, I want you to relax. Uncle Bullish is back. Basically, I apologize. I was on vacation. Subscribe to the channel because we're going to be talking a lot more about what's going on here. And so all I leave you with is we're back. Subscribe to the channel. Tell everyone we're back. It's time to get back on the bullish fuck train. And at the end of the day, ultimately, there are always only 3 rules to Bitcoin. Step number 1, you buy Bitcoin. Step number 2, shut the fuck up. And step number 3, you get fabulously wealthy.